Yes, right here.
Hi there, Kristen Cairns, USAID. From my perspective, thank you. From my perspective, we've had a, I don't know if this is on or not. We've had a new season of Afghan political will over the last couple of years, and I was hoping that one or both of you would feel comfortable talking about your confidence or lack thereof in President Ghani's new vision and reform priorities. Ambassador Neumann, you mentioned Brussels, and I'd love for you to touch upon that a little bit. I know it's outside the security spectrum a little bit. Thank you.
Ambassador Neumann?
Sort of a yes, but. President Ghani is putting in place some long-range reforms which actually are important. And a few of them are delivering results. Chris mentioned we were both out there in October, and then we were both running around Kabul, sort of crisscrossing. I was struck by the fact that several business people told me that tax collection had gotten more honest. They complained bitterly about how much time they had to spend in the finance ministry negotiating, but it wasn't for bribes. I had a banker who told me that bank regulation was now much more honest. On the other hand, it was so tightly controlled that it was very difficult to produce loans for small business. But those are sort of normal problems for developing countries, and I'd be frightfully happy if we had a few more of that kind. So some of these things are happening, and they're important, but they're small. They won't snowball. And I think Ghani's determination is real. It's not perfect. And there are places where I think he, let us at least say, tolerates things that he shouldn't. In his own, I don't think it's in his pecuniary interest, his financial interest, but I think it is in his political interest. The search for purity in Afghanistan is probably not one ought to undertake. But overall, there is a real notion of reform. I think there is some notion of that with Abdullah as well. I think with both of them, there is the fact that they sit on a pool of supporters that are not wholly theirs and who are very hungry people and who are not under control and command, and they have to negotiate constantly with their own supporters as well. Long subject I won't go into, but there are things to work with. They still need to, they're not so finished you could say, let's prove it. Under Ghani's control, you have begun a number of prosecutions of senior level people and talked about investigations of a lot more. Now he's really leaning forward with this public discussion of the additional prosecutions. If those go forward, even if somewhat not perfectly and not all of them, that will be an important milestone. If he doesn't, if those turn out to be hollow words and he can't summon the political will to carry through, then it's going to be a long step backward for his credibility. So we're still a little progress, some things that are good, but some that have to deliver still.
I'm glad you pointed out that this is beyond the security piece, because this is a strategy that puts the political and diplomatic elements of national power at the forefront. It may be the first one that's done that, and hopefully it'll be adopted, but with the military clearly playing a supporting role and politics and diplomacy up front, because that's how we're going to be successful.